Another top Virginia Democrat admits to wearing blackface decades ago. Attorney General Mark Herring issued a statement saying he wore brown makeup and a wig in 1980 to look like a black rapper during a party as an undergraduate at the University of Virginia. Governor Northam and Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax are also facing controversies. Herring would be next in line for governorship after these two. Many, including Herring, have urged Northam to resign after the discovery of a photo of someone in blackface and a KKK robe on his 1984 medical school yearbook page. Fairfax, who's next in line to be governor, has been accused of sexual misconduct, which he denies.
A superhero YouTube meetup has happened. It's Larry, it's Lamont, and we're talking about the embroiled scandal that his state governor, his lieutenant governor, and the state attorney general is going through in Virginia. We're going to discuss what they should do in this video. Here we go.
In time, you will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right, but to fail all the same. Dread it. Run from it. Destiny still arrives.
What's good, YouTube? You're in the building with the all knowing, all loving, all feeling, all seeing, all powerful, just damn all everything, the sexy as hell host. With my homie Larry from Today I Feel Like on YouTube. Now, Larry, I got a special gift for you.
All right.
On my channel, we always put on the +7 glasses of sexy as hell. I got some for you. So before we talk about these crooked politicians, if they are crooked, let's put on our +7s of sexy as hell, work on skilling our craft, giving y'all a better YouTube experience, something better to look at. So in case y'all haven't known, Ralph Northam, the governor of Virginia, Justin Fairfax, the lieutenant governor, and Mark Herring, the state attorney general, two of those guys did blackface a couple years ago. The other one has been accused of sexual misconduct. What should the DNC do? Mr. Larry, I give you that question.
Whew, man. You know, I'll tell you, this is tough. And I'll tell you why this is a rough one.
Okay.
Because if Northam steps down, you have Justin Fairfax, who's the lieutenant governor.
Mm-hmm.
As we said, he's accused twice over of rape.
Yep.
If we go past him and we get to Mark Herring, I believe it is, he's also done blackface. So now if we go past him, we end up with the number 4, which is the Speaker of the Virginia State House, which is Kurt Cox. Kurt Cox is a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
So it you know, considering that this all started off from some right-wing website posting these photos of Ralph Northam in blackface, it really seems like it is, and I hate to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it really seems like
tell it like it is
a conspiracy to get rid of the top 3 Democrats so that they can get a Republican in the State House.
True.
So it's like, if you can't win with the votes, then shame the Democrats out of office and take the State House that way.
Let's assume that it is a right-wing vast conspiracy. Y'all like that term. Rush Limbaugh use it all the time. Let's say it is a right-wing vast conspiracy. It still doesn't change that these individuals did behaviors that are less than ethical, and in one case, one that can send you to jail. How should the DNC proceed with handling it? Now, I read one thing that they could do is you have the lieutenant governor go ahead and step down. Get on up out of there. Because his thing is a criminal issue, so he's just going to step down. Then they appoint a new lieutenant governor, and then the other 2 go on ahead and resign so that that new lieutenant governor becomes governor, and that would be a way that the party has power to do it and do it right. Because if you're going to take what happened to Brett Kavanaugh and his accusers seriously, you can't then in turn be a Democratic person and say that you're not going to take these accusations against Justin Fairfax seriously. So having said that, what do you think goes from that point?
I mean, that's a good option if they can do it that way. If they can appoint a new lieutenant governor, and then the Ralph Northam can step down, and that new lieutenant governor can move up. That's a very good option. I'll tell you, I have mixed feelings about this.
I know, you do.
And part of it is, I mean, if they all decide they're gonna go,
right?
If they've all done dirt, they decide they're gonna go, then go. But you also have this thing here where the Republicans, they keep their people no matter what, and we're fighting. We're supposedly playing the same game, but by two different sets of rules.
That's true.
And so you can't play the game with a different set of rules. I know Democrats want to take the high road. I know that we want to be the ones that can say that we have the moral high ground or whatever. But at the same time, if all it takes is for Republicans to dig up a little bit of dirt on somebody, and I'm not calling racism or rape little, but if all it takes is that you dig up some dirt on somebody, put it out there in the public, and then all of a sudden people are screaming, this person's got to go, this person's got to go. But then at the same time, when you have Republicans out there that are having gay love affairs, they're running off and soliciting sex in bathrooms.
Right.
They're drugging and raping women at high school parties. They're if they're grabbing people by the peas. I mean, all this stuff. If they're doing all of this, and then they still stay in office, and our people are going, then you just end up in a politically weak position, and you have to at some point just say no. Either we're all gonna play by the same rules and be moral, or we're all gonna play by the same rules and we're gonna be immoral. And the best that you can hope for is that the people who have done these bits of dirt in their past are no longer living like that.
Right. I was gonna say, so that brings me to the point of, at what point do you go backwards to say that this should hold someone accountable in the future? What's the cutoff point? 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years? Because human life is dynamic.
Right.
You're going to always be learning and adapting to what new science says is the way we should be behaving. I'm going to assume, just by what I read about Ralph Northam, he's done great work for minorities since that point in time of a mistake.
Right.
Your lieutenant governor, he's been perpetuated in helping women's causes. He's been a stark supporter of the Me Too movement ever since. How long should people go back to hold you accountable for something that happened years ago?
I mean, I'm not going to say that there's any particular time frame that they should or shouldn't be allowed to go back. It's a case by case basis, and I think more importantly, it's really how you respond to those behaviors in the moment today.
Right.
So, like Ralph Northam, people were upset with his reaction and his response to this whole situation with the blackface thing. And I have to admit, as a black person, I was frustrated and upset by it too. But as a human being, I understand his reluctance to just come out and embrace all that, because he is a governor who is a Democrat and a progressive, and he has a large base that is made up of black folks and minorities, and I'm sure he was horrifically embarrassed.
Now, see, where he stuck me wrong was, if you are trying to project integrity, when this comes out, just say you did it. I'm sorry, it's a mistake.
Right.
He waffled around it. He even had a press conference where his ass was about to break out in a Michael Jackson dance until his wife told him to chill out.
Right.
You can't be saying, it's not me, I don't know if it's me, it was me, but now I don't know if it's me. You just ruined, in my opinion, that's the part that made me the most angry.
Right.
All the integrity you have to be a politician, which we keep y'all under a microscope anyway, you ruined all that by waffling on a solid answer.
And see, this is the thing though, is that I understand why he did that, because he was embarrassed, he was ashamed, and he was also probably very much afraid. Because if you leave office if you're basically run out of office because of racism, and you're a governor, your political career is basically over.
Right.
At that point, I mean, he's a progressive. His only option at that point is maybe some sort of consultancy, or you know, maybe he can switch parties if he wants to become a conservative and be a Republican.
Yeah, join.
But I mean, with his progressive politics, they don't want him. He probably doesn't believe in the stuff that Republicans believe in, so that's not really a viable option for him. Mm-hmm. But that's part of this whole climate that we're in, where it's like, if we don't learn how to forgive people, we're not going to get the true apologies and reactions that we want. If we can't forgive people and allow them to move on with their lives, if we can't look and say, okay, he did this completely asinine thing or things when he was younger, when he was in college or med school, but for the last 20 years, you know, his actions have said something else. Because we always say it's not what you say, it's what you do. Right. So yeah, he may have done these other things, but if for the last 20 years he's worked to make the lives of minorities and women and everyone really better, I mean, at some point we have to say, yes, he may have done those things in the past, but he's moved on, and so he is now an advocate for us. He may have been a racist little, you know, entitled prick before, but now he has moved on and he's fighting for us. And if we don't have that happen, like we've seen this with Kevin Hart with the whole scandal with him hosting the Oscars. He made gay jokes in the past. I mean, let's be real. If you're a comedian and in the last 20 years and you didn't make gay jokes, especially as a black comedian, you probably just weren't funny, or you weren't mainstream, or you weren't on TV. You may have been working some club circuit where people heard you, like, if they showed up and they just knew you, but you know, the reality of it is everybody was making gay jokes. If you look at Eddie Murphy stuff, he was making gay jokes.
Eddie Murphy also did Whiteface on Saturday Night Live.
He did Whiteface,
and it was funny as hell.
It was funny as hell. But you have all kinds of people doing that.
Yeah, I think the difference between the two is a comedian doing it is one thing, but someone who's responsible for setting policy over minorities and such, that's totally different.
No, you're right. And I got a little sidetracked rambling on a bit, but my point is that we have to learn to forgive people. There's a lot of people that are in the gay community and support the gay community that were basically telling Kevin Hart, "You're screwed forever. You said this. You're a homophobe. We will never forgive you. You shouldn't even be able to have a career." And
he's a supporter of that community right now.
And people have made jokes. Let's just be real. Let's just be honest. Gay people for a long time were just sort of like the whipping boys of comedy. It was safe to make gay jokes. When it was no longer safe to make racist jokes, it was safe to make gay jokes. And you can't do that anymore. But for a long time you could, and people did. Yep. And so we have to. But basically, if we can forgive people, you'll start to see people come out and acknowledge their wrongdoing and saying, "I did this, and I'm sorry, and I've moved on." People are reluctant to do that when they know that their acknowledgement and their apology is just going to be met with, "We don't care."
Right. I think for me, and we'll get out of here on this one, I've always been one to want to stay in front of trouble. If I see it coming, I'm going to admit to it. If I know I done got some other chick pregnant, I'm going to tell my wife, the day that I feel like my semen has gotten inside that other woman, to stay in front of the trouble. There ain't gonna be no trouble. We should all just come on out, try to get in front of it. So guys, we'll keep you abreast of what's going on in Virginia. It's a hot mess, but post your comments down below. How much more do you want to see me and Larry team up on issues outside of streaming? Let us know what you think.
And if you're married, keep your semen out of other people. Just in your wife only.
If you're seeing this, you in America, keep your semen only in your wife. Don't even worry about keeping it in a condom. And that's gonna do it for this video. Don't forget to like the video, comment, and subscribe. Go get yourself a life game. Share this video, folks, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Love, peace, and grease.